The poisoning allegations against Nnamdi Kanu, a ticking time bomb for Nigeria's stability. In the shadowy corridors of Nigeria's political detention, where justice often bends to the whims of power, the recent open letter from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the fiery leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra IPOB, has ignited a firestorm of concern and outrage. Read aloud to the world on September 17, 2025, by his lawyer, Barrister Nnaemeka Ejiofor, the letter lays bare Kanu's harrowing health crisis, dangerously low potassium levels threatening sudden heart failure, distress in his pancreas, kidneys, and heart, and over 50 blood draws yielding no answers, even from South African labs. But it's the chilling suspicion of poisoning traced back to his brutal 2021 rendition from Kenya that elevates this from a personal tragedy to a national peril. Kanu's words, raw and resolute, cut through the noise. If there is nothing wrong with me, why have they drawn my blood more than 50 times? Even South African authorities who analyzed my blood could not explain why my potassium keeps dropping. He accuses the Department of State Services, DSS, of deliberate medical neglect, pleading for transfer to the National Hospital in Abuja or at least coverage of his treatment costs. Ejiofor has gone further, branding the ordeal genocidal health sabotage, warning that denial of care could lead to Kanu's death, a state-sponsored tragedy in the making. As Nigeria grapples with this unfolding drama, the implications of poisoning Nnamdi Kanu ripple far beyond one man's suffering. They strike at the heart of a nation's fragile unity, echoing the ghosts of colonial-era injustices and modern authoritarian overreach. Here's why this could unravel everything. A health crisis masking foul play. Kanu's allegations aren't born in isolation. His 2021 arrest allegedly involving torture and rendition without extradition has long been decried by human rights groups as a violation of international law. Now, with symptoms pointing to possible toxin exposure during that operation, the narrative shifts from mere detention to assassination by attrition. Low potassium, hypokalemia, isn't just fatigue. It's a cardiac assassin, capable of inducing fatal arrhythmias. Coupled with pancreatic and renal strain, it paints a picture of systemic sabotage. The DSS counters vehemently, insisting their facilities are among the best in Nigeria, and that Kanu's health is stable under specialist care he himself selected. They cite letters protesting a new doctor's sweeping changes to his regimen and affirm providing maximum comfort, including any food he demands. Yet, courts have twice this month deferred motions for his hospital transfer, once on September 15th, citing procedural delays, and again on September 16th, fueling suspicions of complicity. If proven, poisoning Kanu wouldn't just be medical malpractice, it would be a war crime, evoking the fate of Russia's Alexei Navalny, whose 2020 Novichok poisoning preceded his death in an Arctic prison. Elder statesman Dr. Chike Obidigbo has warned that this conspiracy of silence from Nigeria's political elite could ruin Nigeria, drawing parallels to Mandela's imprisonment, but decrying the hypocrisy of amnesties for bandits, while Kanu rots for advocating a referendum. Legal ramifications. Justice on trial. Legally, this is dynamite. Kanu's team argues his rendition voids all charges, a point the Supreme Court sidestepped in 2022, a ruling human rights lawyer barrister. Christopher Chidera recently slammed as judicial fraud. The upcoming September 26th hearing advanced from October 10 on his no-case submission could acquit him, but poisoning claims might accelerate calls for unconditional release. Failure to address them risks contempt of court and international sanctions, as the UN and Amnesty International have already flagged his detention as arbitrary. Worse, it undermines Nigeria's judiciary. If the state is seen as complicit in harming a detainee, faith in the rule of law evaporates. Obidigbo notes the irony. Armed insurgents get red carpet treatment, yet Kanu, an educated man pushing democratic restructuring, faces solitary confinement. This double standard could embolden challenges to other high-profile cases, eroding the fragile post-colonial legal framework. Political fallout, igniting the southeastern fuse. Politically, the stakes are existential. Kanu is no fringe figure. He's the symbol of Biafra self-determination. The southeast could erupt. Protests that paralyzed the region in 2021 might return with vengeance, disrupting commerce, oil pipelines, and elections. Obadigbo predicts a grave crisis, as the troubling health condition becomes a rallying cry against perceived Fulani hegemony under President Bola Tinubu. On the global stage, Nigeria's image as Africa's giant will crumble. Western allies, already wary of rights abuses, might impose travel bans or aid cuts. IPOB's Emma Powerful calls it state-sponsored suppression, threatening the status quo. Broader societal and international echoes. Societally, this poisons trust in institutions. In a country where extrajudicial killings are routine, Kanu's case normalizes state violence against dissenters, chilling activism from End SARS youth to labor unions. Economically, instability in the southeast home to key ports and industries could shave billions from GDP, exacerbating inflation and youth unemployment. Internationally, it invites scrutiny. The African Union and ECOWAS, silent so far, risk accusations of complicity. If Kanu dies, Nigeria joins the rogues gallery of nations that kill their critics. A call to avert catastrophe. The implications are clear. Poisoning Nnamdi Kanu isn't just an attack on one man. It's an assault on Nigeria's soul. It risks reigniting civil war echoes, shattering legal credibility, and isolating the country globally. As Ejiofor urges public and global pressure, the onus falls on Tinubu's administration to act, transfer Kanu to independent care, investigate the poisoning claims transparently, or release him outright. History judges harshly those who let symbols like Kanu fade in silence. Mandela's release birthed a rainbow nation. Navalny's death fueled Russia's rage. Nigeria stands at the crossroads. Will it choose healing or hemorrhage? The clock ticks with every potassium drop. Family Writers Press International.